here's a fun salsa to make, especially if you have a garden. So I had some tomatillos growing in the garden out at the river this year, and it was a nice surprise because I didn't plant them. They were volunteer plants, and if you're not familiar with growing tomatillos, you have to have at least 2 plants so that they will cross-pollinate and produce the tomatillos. So I had actually 3 volunteer plants. So I had enough to make this. You can buy these also at the grocery store, just about anywhere here in the U.S. And we're going to get a few jalapeno peppers along with a green pepper. This is not a poblano, but I would suggest that you buy a poblano if you can. And I'm just going to pick up a couple of other green peppers. These are some serranos that are pretty small because it's late in the season. And now we'll head up to my container garden where I'm going to grab some citrus. No, this is not a lime. I'm going to try a green Meyer lemon this year, but I suggest you buy a lime if you're buying your ingredients at the store. And we'll need some green bunching onions. You'll need about 4 or 5 of those. And we need a lot of cilantro. This makes it really good. You'll need a great big bunch of it. And so for the first time, I actually used mint in this salsa, and it was so good. So if you are looking for a way to use your mint, here's a good way to use it. So we'll take this inside, and then I had some onions curing that I picked up at the river. I harvested those about a month ago. So we'll need those, and of course our herbs. We'll also need a couple of other ingredients like salt, garlic, and some olive oil. So here are the ingredients if you would like to maybe take a screenshot of them so you can take it to the grocery store, or they'll be below the video as well if you'd like to print them out. So let's go ahead and start by prepping our ingredients. And this is my first time ever slicing into a green Meyer lemon, and it turned out to be fine for this recipe. Meyer lemon, if you're not familiar with it, it's part orange and part lemon. So it was fine, but like I said, I do recommend you get a lime if you can. And now we're just going to give our peppers and our cilantro a good wash and spin so they're nice and dry. And now we have to prepare the tomatillos, and we basically just want to peel that husk off on the outside and then give them a little wash because they're sticky. They have something underneath the husk there, so make sure you rinse that off. And I'll go ahead and dry it because I need to put some oil on it. We're going to grill these and char them up real nice, okay? Now I'll prepare the onions, and they're always a little bit harder to prepare because they're usually pretty dirty from harvesting them. So I'm just going to go ahead and peel out the outside layers of my onions, the green onion as well. This was actually called a red Welch, so it developed a little bit of a bulb on the end, and I did show you how to grow those in a pretty in-depth video. If you'd like to check it out, I'll leave a link for you. They're real easy to grow, and I like to grow them from seed and not from cuttings, but that's just my choice. But I went ahead and I showed you how to grow them from cuttings if you like to. But like I said, they're real easy and very hardy. So we'll just go ahead and thinly slice these. Now I just want to slice these small red onions in half because I'm going to grill them also. And I'll need to go ahead and peel my garlic. I'm going to grate this, so I want to go ahead and take off the root end, and then we'll peel it. So I went ahead and got my coals going while I finished prepping the ingredients. This is probably the most time-consuming part about making this salsa because it's really very easy to make. But I'm going to go ahead and remove the seeds here because I can always add heat later if I need it, but I can't take it out. So I went ahead and removed the membrane of the jalapeno peppers and the serranos, and I'm only cutting up about 2 or 3 of these right now, and then I'm going to save some to put on the grill. So save half of your hot chili peppers to grill and then chop up the other half. Okay, and we'll add those fresh towards the end. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the leaves from the cilantro, about a quarter of the cilantro, and I'll save 3/4 of the rest of it, and I'll just throw that in the blender. We can use the stalks and everything on that, but I'm just going to finally chop up some of these mint leaves and the cilantro leaves. We'll be adding that at the end, fresh. And now I'm going to go ahead and take the peppers and the tomatillos and the onions that I'm going to grill, and we are going to just drizzle a little bit of olive oil on there, coat them well, and then I'll just put a little bit of salt there on the onion. So over a very hot fire, we're going to put our tomatillos and char them nicely until they start to lose their color, and they'll turn kind of a yellowish green instead of this bright green that you see here. And then that's when you want to go ahead and remove them. And now let's go ahead and char up our peppers and our onions. When those were nice and charred, I went ahead and removed everything to a dish. And depending on how charred your peppers are, you may want to remove some of the charring just by rubbing it off. I went ahead and removed the stem end of the peppers. And we're basically just going to clean out any seeds that are in there and remove the stem end, and we'll throw it in the blender. Now I want to add my tomatillos. I'm reserving the onions and the hot chili peppers off to the side. So we're going to put the tomatillos in here with the wonderful juice that has kind of come out of the tomatillos. We'll go ahead and give this a good blend. This is just one of those high-powered blenders, and so it comes with a little, I guess you call it like a plunger, so I can kind of force everything down in there so it mixes up pretty well. And I'm going to blend this up. We want it to be pretty liquid here. So I'm going to go ahead and just pour this in a pie plate. I'm reserving some of the liquid in the blender because now I'm going to do the second blend a little bit chunkier, just to add a little bit of the texture to the salsa. So you can, like I said, remove any of the charring on these peppers if you want to, and the seeds if you want to, or leave them on there. But I do take off the stem end. So we'll go ahead and add the chili peppers along with the herbs, the mint, and the cilantro. And I'm going to go ahead and add the citrus juice. This is just going to give it a little bit of a tang. And then the garlic, the minced garlic, along with a handful of the minced jalapeno pepper that's nice and fresh, and a handful of the green onions. This, I don't want to take it quite as far as I did with the tomatillos. Let's make sure we give it a good dash of salt there. And now we can add our chunky component of the salsa, okay? And now I'm going to add the fresh ingredients, such as the jalapeno peppers that we minced, and the green onion, and the cilantro, and the mint. So this was a lot, and I used it throughout the week. We had it for dinner that evening with a few flat iron steaks that had been marinating and some flour tortillas just for a tasty little dinner. I think for the side item I cooked some rice or something. So the flat iron steaks are great, and those were on sale actually. So those are always a pleasant surprise when I can find them on sale. So I mentioned earlier that I could always bring the heat up if I needed to, and I did feel like the sauce was not hot enough for me. So I went back, I added a red Serrano pepper and 2 more jalapeno peppers to this. So it gave it a nice little kick, and I hope you can give it a try too. So if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a big thumbs up down there below the video. And also, if you haven't already, feel free to head on over to my channel, where over there I have a playlist section, and there are a lot of different recipes over there. There's something for everyone. So thanks so much for watching, and y'all have a beautiful day.